Hey, folks, welcome to the Morning Call Show. I'm Bob Sellers here with Jerry Burke, a couple news vets who have tried to find the right and wrong in between the right and left. Jerry, what do you have starting off this morning?
Well, I've got Treasury Chief Scott Bessent
Yeah,
promising that today it will be an economic D-Day for Iran. He's
right,
going to unleash holy hell economically.
right.
Now, what that entails, we don't know. And he's going to speak at 1 o'clock, and I guess we'll learn then. But my God, what haven't we already done to Iran? There's more sanctions
I
to
don't
to
know.
be done.
You know, Trump has tried to talk big. Uh, Obviously, we have killed leadership there and we have destroyed some buildings and that sort of thing. But he has not been able to accomplish what he wants militarily, at least to get the Strait of Hormuz open the way it was before or predictably. And now he's trying to do it with economic threats. So remember, militarily, he said he's going to end a civilization. Now he's threatening an economic D-Day as if they're going to come to the table. These people don't think like us. That's
No.
the thing. This leadership literally doesn't play that kind of game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he thinks that he's really going to bring them to their knees economically, because to them, they don't care. They want to control the Strait of Hormuz to the extent that they can
Yeah.
and put an economic burden on us.
And, it seems like he's opened up a two-front war because now he's doing economic war with Canada. Tell us
Oh,
about that.
yeah, this morning he's announced that there are going to be 50% tariffs on cars from Canada. Now, I don't know all the details, but let me read you some of the cars assembled in Canada. One, Toyota RAV4, very
Oh,
popular. Chevy Silverado. Doesn't get
oh,
more American than that, although who knew
yeah.
it was assembled in Canada? The Honda Civic. And I think that we'll find out what other cars this affects, but he's clearly mad at Canada, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like his negotiating tactics work either with Iran or Canada. And I can't think of two totally different countries in my
Here's
mind.
the thing to me, that as we've watched Trump over the years, he tries to go for the jugular, for the lack of a better term. He tries to figure what leverage does he have on you, and then
Right.
he tries to apply that. But what he doesn't know how to deal with is what happens when that particular leverage doesn't change the opponent's
Right.
behavior.
Well, I have an article here
Yeah.
with the headline saying Iran today is ripping what they call Trump's empty talk while issuing their own blistering ultimatum.
Well, that's the thing about it. These people that run Iran are not Western, right? They don't
No.
think like us. They're not depending upon a free enterprise that makes their country successful, even though it's a country of 92 million people and many of
Yeah.
them are pro West. This is the mullahs that run Iran, they
Yeah.
don't think in Western terms.
No.
So to think that an economic D Day is going to threaten them, that doesn't have an effect.
No, they don't think like that.
No. Now, don't get us wrong. We're not rooting for them. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping that we can deal with this. I think all of us want the Strait of Hormuz opened.
Yeah.
Uh, and then let's go to Canada. Canada seems to be willing to say, you know what? We're going to have some pain. We're going to put up with it. We're not going to be your 51st state. And if you want to play a game with tariffs, we can play it too, because we have things you want also, by the
Right.
way, including steel.
Like a Chevy Silverado.
Like a Chevy Silverado.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm inclined to sing a Morgan Wallen song right now, but Silverado,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that Silverado for sale may be going up in price. But
Yeah.
I think that they are another example of an opponent, if you will, a negotiating opponent who's not capitulating to your threat. Now, I don't
Yeah.
mean it means nothing. I don't mean we have no leverage on Canada. They're
Yeah.
our biggest trading partner, though. I mean, this is what seems to be changing is Canada clearly is an ally. We know China's not. We know
Mm.
Iran's not. But why are we picking fights with our allies?
Mm. And, I didn't know that Canada had it in them. I thought that they were just nice, easygoing people.
Well, I think there are unintended consequences. I know lots of Canadians, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of a whole country, but as I read into it, I think they've been clearly insulted by his 51st state thing, which all of us know as a joke. But I don't think they take well to that. I don't think they
No.
like that. I think they're pretty happy with their country. And I don't think they like being talked down to.
Yeah.
And in a way, I think it's kind of personal. I think they personally don't like
No,
Trump.
I think you're right there. And they say, what was the statistic where, like, I think 90% of Canada lives within 70 miles of the American border,
Yeah,
you
because it's
know?
too cold to go north of that.
Right, right.
The Great White North. Yeah, I
Right,
mean,
right. The Great White North.
we have worked with Canadians, and you and I, because I
Yeah.
could mention them by name, and um, they come to the United States in many cases for the American dream and for the opportunity, for the education. We have many, but we've always kind of worked together. It's not like there are a bunch of people at the border trying to keep you out. They do
No.
have people at the border, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but they're looking for different things. And I understand that he's trying to negotiate. Let's look at this in a positive light. That he's trying to have more leverage from the United States,
Yeah.
but can't help but feel that if you're fighting with Canada, maybe you should try a different approach.
Right, right, right. That's not a good look. I have another story for you.
Go ahead.
This is one of our favorite ballers, Enes Kanter Freedom, was
Yeah,
ejected from a WNBA game after he was confronted by a player. He
yeah,
said he was there to support Sophie Cunningham and stood up to congratulate her on a play. And this triggered a Chicago player from the other team who ran over and yelled at him, "She's never going to sleep with you. Get over it."
yeah.
And that
Well,
led to more words.
now this Enos Slaughter played 11 years in the NBA. I'm sorry, not Enos Slaughter. That's really going back.
That's going back.
Enes Kanter, and he is declaring for the WNBA draft. Says he wants to play in the NBA, but look at this T-shirt he was wearing, Jerry.
Oh,
It's
yeah. The
woman,
definition of a woman.
the definition of a woman. So you feel like, first of all, I don't think these women, as good as they are in their peer group, could do anything to stop this guy in the
No,
middle.
look at that. I mean, look at the wingspan. The
Oh,
guy's
I know.
huge.
And he's big for a guy. Okay.
Right,
So
right, right.
and I think that he is taunting everyone socially and representing a lot of, remember, um, what is it, like 80% of people think the idea of biological men playing in women's sports is a bad idea. So it's
Yeah.
not like he's a minority here, but it seems like the WNBA has become the forum now for social arguing instead of playing basketball.
Right. And it's getting crazy out there. Really, I can't keep up anymore. I read a headline over the weekend that said there was a poll where there was quite a few people, or percentage wise, who were asking, why are sports segregated by sex anyway?
Somebody asked that
Yeah.
legitimately.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let me show you. Let me show you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
That's why. The reality though, uh, Jerry, is they're not segregated by gender because there's nothing to keep a woman from playing in the NBA
Yeah.
except there's nobody good enough to do it.
Yeah.
And there's not
Yeah.
nothing to keep a woman from playing in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It's just none of them are good enough to do it. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's actually they're one of the best players in the Little League World Series. I saw the article. I haven't watched it. Apparently, is a girl who's like 12
Oh,
years old or what, however old
yeah.
she is. And this
Yeah.
is at the point before boys,
Puberty.
yeah, get bigger and stronger and comparatively more
Yeah.
powerful. Um, but Yeah, there's anybody asking that question. It's like, really? Do we
I
need to go?
know.
I mean, doesn't it seem, Jerry, that we spend a lot of time arguing over things that we always thought were settled?
Yeah, we do. And, even going as far as the LGBTQ community, aren't we talking about like only 1 or 2% of the population anyway? You
I'm
know?
not an expert on that, but that's the number that if we're talking trans, I think it's 1% or less, right?
Yeah,
Even if you talk about somebody that might be gay, when I was growing up, they always said it was like 1 or 2%, and now I see numbers more like 10%. It's like,
yeah,
which is fine, whatever the number is, that's fine. I don't think most people, I got to tell you, even most people, you and I have had connections with people who are Republicans, with the conservative ecosystem, if you will.
yeah.
And there are a lot of people in that world who happen to be gay anyway. I
Right,
mean,
true.
so
Right.
it's not like that's a problem.
Like
I
Scott
think
Bessent, the Treasury chief.
exactly. So I don't think even conservatives nowadays spend a lot of time worrying about whether somebody's gay or not. However,
Yeah,
they may not want a biological man playing in sports against a woman, especially if you're connected to them. I mean, I have a couple
right.
daughters who played volleyball. I wouldn't have wanted a guy who's 6'5" and can dunk a basketball to be playing volleyball against him.
Well, we're also drowning in social media,
Yeah,
24-hour cable news, websites out the wazoo. Back in the day, news was only on a half hour a day. You
yeah.
got one newspaper that came in the evening, and that was it, you know?
Oh, we got the Washington Post in the morning and the Evening Star, I think, in the afternoon in DC. So it was print, which by our definition nowadays, those are old stories.
Yeah.
And and like you said, everything. And there were three major networks, and then there was the UHF channel, right?
Yeah.
Which was kind of a funny dial.
And I was the remote control. My dad used to make me sit down by the TV and he would yell like channel 2
Oh, that's
and
funny.
I would
You would
change
crank
it.
it. Yeah, it was a big advance to have something that
And do you
changed it.
remember he bought a color TV. That was a huge thing. And he put a
Right.
piece of tape on the floor. We were not
Yeah.
allowed to sit closer than like 3 or 4 feet to the TV because we'd
Right.
literally watch it with our nose pressed up against the screen.
Yeah. We the big deal in our family, because color television became a big deal, was the first part of The Wizard of Oz was black and white, and then it
It
would
became
turn
color.
color.
Yeah.
And everybody had their color sets, and then they'd have to adjust the hue and the tint
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
contrast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the sad part about the whole story, the reason he went out and bought a color TV is to watch Bobby Kennedy's funeral.
Oh, that's too bad.
So
But
that was my first color TV programming was watching the funeral.
my first recollection of being a journalist was my parents putting me in front of the TV when JFK was shot. And I sat
Oh, yeah.
there and I watched it all unfold. I was a kid, but I was processing it. And they were smart enough to do that because I saw a lot of things that I kind of learned from. I saw Oswald killed live on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw reporting how everything was going. It was
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
fascinating.
that I didn't realize it then, but I was a news hound when I was a kid. It never dawned on me that you could make a living out of that,
I
you
was.
know.
We moved to this area before Watergate. And when that happened, that was big. That
Oh
was
yeah, Watergate. And
probably,
I remember my dad had a cassette recorder, and I remember recording Richard Nixon's resignation speech.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I had that cassette for years.
right. Therefore,
I listened to it a couple years later, and I hit play, and all I could hear on the tape was testing, testing. 12-year-old Jerry Burke trying to get the record to work.
that's okay. That's a start.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else, Bob?
I'm good.
Okay, I think that's a show.
Okay. Thanks,
It's a
Jerry.
short one today, 15
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Remember, breaking
Oh,
news
yeah. Breaking
changes
news changes everything.